Hey guys, welcome to episode 105. We're back again. Priceless pieces, games we would never call. As always, I remain PJ.
And I am Gareth.
You are
Games.
Gareth.
This is a thing where games will never cull.
Mm-hmm.
We need to watch this back in a year or two, 3 years, and check on ourselves.
Absolutely. No, this is good.
I think it'll be good.
So we're getting towards the end of the year, right? And we've had some casual conversations around selling games, culling games, giving them away, donating to charity, however, whatever form. And we're not here to talk about the form of culling, but just some games that you would call. And I thought it would be nice if we just kind of coasting towards the end of the year with, how about some games you won't ever get rid of in your collection?
It's tough. I sat there yesterday, starting this little decision making, and I have been culling. I think I've culled 100 games in the last month and a half.
Yeah.
Well, I've culled, of which half of those are sold.
Okay.
The rest are just stacked up in piles. But so I thought this would be quite easy because anything left, clearly I wouldn't cull. But I was like,
well,
I've kind of got the itch currently. I have another cull planned. I find it quite refreshing,
cathartic.
It's just out with the old. And then I've had 5 games arrive in about weeks,
right.
So I haven't really helped myself.
That's how it always goes.
And there's Christmas coming. So,
yeah.
So you've got to make a bit of space.
Our last cull was about 2 months ago.
Okay.
We sold 20 games and but the beauty is the money made allowed us to bring in one. Right? There's those games that are just, the price point's a little high, and you're like,
yeah,
do I really need it? I don't know, maybe. And so it's like, we've been eyeing Return to the Dark Tower for months.
Yeah. It's not a cheap one either.
No, it's not. And so we sold games.
You sold 20 and bought one.
Right? We had a little money left over though. So it got me thinking about culling games. And then you and I were just talking a few minutes ago before we started recording. It sounded like, I know I did, it sounded like you also had a, I don't want to say intimate, but a really connecting conversation with your spouse over what games to cull.
I wrote about 20 games out that I thought I probably wouldn't get rid of these. And then I said to Carrie, okay, which of these would you not get rid of?
Right.
And she was like, bam, bam, bam. And I was like, okay, they're the 3.
There they are.
But all of them, her reason was the same reason as mine, which is either it's something from when we first got into gaming, just something we just always enjoy every time we play. Or there's a sentimental value to it.
Yeah. Yeah. This is kind of similar conversation that we had as well. Yeah. Because the list was longer than what we're going to present today. Gareth and I we've agreed on 3 games each.
3 games.
3 games from our collections that we will not get rid of for any reason, and we'll talk in detail about why that is and what about the game we enjoy. Also, I did a poll on Instagram, so I've gotten about 12 people's responses on games they wouldn't call. So we'll try to share that through the course of the game as well.
Any games the same? Any of those 20 people have the same game, or were they all unique?
They were all unique.
Okay,
and
so
only one person broke the rules.
Oh. Rules are there to be broken. I mean, I could easily break the rules and back off a load more, but
you could, and I'm going to try to keep you there. So I'm going to try to keep you in line. You only get 3.
You got 3.
You're going to save the good one for last, though, right?
Okay. Yeah, I've got one with a very personal letter.
Yes.
And I think I'm going to read the letter. I mean, I'll read the letter out. It's linked back to a Secret Santa from Board Game Geek. So 4 or 5 years ago. So we'll read that in a minute.
Yeah. So do you want to begin with your first one?
Yeah. So this had 2 iterations. I have both copies still. So in terms of examples I've got the big deluxeified master set, and I still have the original. And the game is the same, except the original had these really cool surveyors. People might click on it, which games. I haven't managed to part my ways with that, and I thought the fact that I own both games and they are the same game, says that this
Wow.
probably has not left my collection because it was one of the very early worker placement games. Now getting my stats, the very first 2012. So I think this was very early on. That was Snowdonia.
Really?
Which have you played that?
I haven't. It's one I just haven't gotten to.
So Tony Boudel, 2012, 1 to 5 players, weight 3, and you just build a railway. And I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the Welsh names.
Okay.
But through the valleys, up until Snowdonia, that's not called Snowdonia anymore. It's now called its official park name, which I should have done more research on because I can't pronounce either.
Because I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know where that is.
It's a really nice worker placement where you start in the pub or near the pub in the town I've now forgotten, and you have to lay track or dig out to lay track. So you clear earthworks,
right?
Put the track down, then you build stations. You've got a nice set of worker placements at scale. So, like you put cards out for 2-player or 3-player or 4-player. One of my favourite mechanics is that it has this weather system. So as this contract deck comes out, there's a blue disc for rain or yellow disc for sun or grey for fog. And depending on the weather, worker spaces either get covered because you can't dig because it's dangerous to dig in the fog.
Right.
Or if it's raining, the ground becomes too squelchy and you can't lay as much track. So you kind of got this dynamic of uncontrollable weather, just like the British weather. We all know how bad or great that is.
Yep.
And when the sun comes out, the ground dries, bam, 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 you can put 2 or 3 tracks out at a time.
That's cool.
It is a fantastic worker placement. It will always be in my collection. I have 2 copies for that reason.
Wow.
The master set is a big old box that has got, I'm going to say, it must have like 50 cards in it. So Tony, I think still does it now, but he releases like just little train cards.
Interesting.
And it's about to get an expansion of more content. Yeah, which I have had a chance to play test one of the maps. It's a bit more global set of maps. But check it out. Snowdonia, if you can find a copy.
I need to. This sounds great.
You need, if you like worker placement.
I love worker placement.
It's great entry. So the amount of people who've come over who've not really gamers, but it's just easy. Do this, place of this, gather some resources, convert it to track, build track, buy a train, speak Welsh.
Speak Welsh.
No, I haven't got.
I'm not going to try.
Even though my name is Gareth, which is a Welsh name.
It is.
So that is my starter.
What's your first?
That I would not get rid of. And the Board Game Geek tag is brave the elements as you build your railway up the peak. Yeah, beautiful.
That's good. That's really good.
And it's rated 10 on my phone. So I'm giving that a 10.
Wow. Snowdonia, guys.
Snowdonia.
Find a copy if you can. Wow. Okay.
I'm sure that, I can't remember the master's still available, but
that sounds really good.
I'm sure expansions can be Kickstarter, which means they'll probably get a check it out.
I like it. I'm gonna have to do that.
What did you go for?
So I got 3 here, and I was going to do them in chronological order, but I think I'm going to do them in reverse chronological order.
Okay.
For reasons. I want to start with the Scarlet Pimpernel. This is by Brian Kelly, and the artwork is done by Ian O'Toole. So the game looks beautiful.
I know that bit. I've not heard this game.
Yeah, this is an amazing game right here. This is gorgeous. It is by Eagle Griffin Games, so it's designed really well. So it is right. So the Scarlet Pimpernel was one of your countrymen who was going into France to rescue the aristocrats from being murdered or executed by the rebellious people. What is this? Late 1700s, right? So it's really, really interesting. And my wife is a really huge fan of all the literature, the history of the time period. There's so many cinematic and TV renditions of the Scarlet Pimpernel. She has it all. So when I met her, Scarlet Pimpernel. So when I saw that this game came out, I bought it, but I bought it through Game Steward. It was the
Yeah.
first purchase I ever purchased through Game Steward. I did not understand what Game Steward was when I made the purchase. So I bought it for her as a Christmas gift. And then I realized, oh, they're going to they're selling me a copy of a Kickstarter they backed. I didn't understand how their industry
Yeah.
works.
Basically, they are buying the games that you
Yes.
forgot to back
Right.
for a little
And
bit more money.
this was early on where Katie and I were just kind of getting aware of crowdfunding and all that. And so I bought it thinking, cool, give it to her for Christmas, but it didn't arrive at Christmas. So I got like a red envelope with a scarlet, and so I put the receipt saying that I
Nice.
purchased the copy
Yeah.
in it, and
Look what I have got you.
I put
Yeah.
that in
You
her
lucky soul.
stocking, and she said she would never sell this game because of it, as a gift that I gave to her.
Mhm.
I think it was our, I want to say it was our first Christmas in our home, um, and that was memorable, you know.
Yeah.
So the first board game, first Christmas gift I got for her in our house, you know. Plus, it's a Scarlet Pimpernel, which she loves.
That's it. Yeah.
So it's a cooperative, semi-cooperative game. You're basically moving between England and France and Belgium. And you're trying to collectively meet all of these goals as the Scarlet Pimpernel is rescuing French nobles,
Mhm.
right? And then
Well, is
eventually,
it? What's the mechanics? Is it
so it is a little bit of worker placement. There's set
okay?
collection,
Yeah.
and there's the tiniest hint of asymmetry. If you collect the right amount of sets of resources, you get like an ally who joins you and gives you an asymmetrical power to help
Mm-hmm.
you in
Mm-hmm.
your rescuing of French nobles. But we're all have to contribute collectively. But at the end of the game, there will only be one winner. So
Right.
it's that, right? So one of
Yeah.
us helped out more than the
Mm-hmm.
rest, right? So we're all Englishmen trying to help the Scarlet Pimpernel rescue the French. It's a beautiful game. Beautiful wooden pieces. Of course, I do have the signature collection.
Of
So I
course you
can't.
do. You went
Yeah,
by game
right. Well,
game
I didn't.
brewer. Yeah.
Again, I didn't know, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty. It is pretty. Yeah. It's
yeah,
pretty.
it is a beautiful game. I highly recommend if you can find a copy, you should get it. It's worth it. It's a fun cooperative game.
Has it really got a guillotine?
What it does, a little
It's
wooden
amazing.
one, little
Yeah.
wooden
Yeah.
one. It doesn't do anything, but
I think
it's
Obsession needs a guillotine. The little meeples look like Obsession a little bit.
a little bit. But they're
Yeah.
taller than the Obsession.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It looks
They're
cool.
taller, but it's beautiful. And
Yeah.
so
It's
check it
beautiful.
out. That's the Scarlet Pimpernel by Eagle
Scarlet
Griffin
Pimpernel.
Games. I mean, Tools artwork. You can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. Yeah.
Cannot
It's
go
got,
wrong.
if you're listening, there's a guillotine slap bang in the middle of the picture.
There it is. There it is. It's like
Death.
the shadow of the
Yeah.
Pimpernel.
Punishment.
Yes. So
That's
that's
cool.
my first of
I've
three.
saved that. And it's a good
Yeah.
choice. I like that's a good story behind it.
Yep.
My number 2 is again, interestingly, it's the same year as release of Snowdonia. It's also 2012.
Okay.
I did not know that until I checked. This is again worker placement. This is Zolkin, the Mayan calendar.
Yeah.
Which I wonder whether that is just is it just why are they here because they were the first few games we got into. We've also played this game every year, so all those games have been played
Right.
every year since since we've been playing modern board games. So I think most people will probably heard of Zolkin, but if you haven't and you're newer to the hobby, again it's medium heavy, 3.6, kind of middle of the road. Plays 2 to 4 players, and if you've seen any photographs of Zolkin, it has 5 cogs on the board that when you put your worker on, you end up rotating. So
Right.
your workers go off and hang around on the cogs, and either you take them off or you put them on, and that's half the challenge. Is do I leave them for another round? But you have to pick up or put on. And if they're
Right.
all on the cogs, they've got to come home.
Oh,
So
okay.
some of the have you played it?
No, I haven't.
Man, right. You need to come back over here. We've got games to play.
Why don't you bring it over here and teach us?
This is unbelievable.
I know.
So you put your workers on, and you're either gathering food or fish or wood from like the resource one, or you're gathering gold. But ultimately, you're trying to build, go around the Zolkin, the Chichen Itza Big Cog, Worship at the Temples. It's just a lovely. Again, I guess these are all medium weight games. I'm not so much into the light games.
Right.
So, but Zolking is there. We have now painted my copy. So I dabbled with my speed paints, and
so did you do a wash on the cogs?
Did a wash, yeah, I did a wash, and then I also went onto Etsy and bought some 3D printed temples, because each cog is a different temple. Which look really smart. So yeah, I don't think I've upgraded everything. There's a few things you can get that makes it a little bit more beautiful, but it's just nice on the table, and very, very good design.
Cool.
So again, I think it might be out of print.
I think it is. I think so. I think so. I've heard you talk about it.
FOMO.
I've definitely heard you talk about it a lot. So
I'd definitely recommend. No, it's not a crazy price on the but yeah, if you're interested in a game, worker placements that look great on the table and have got great mechanics behind it, check out Zolking, the Mayan calendar.
So
easy one.
I did a poll on Instagram, and should we read a few of them?
Yeah, we're interested to see whether these games, would we agree with these games?
Right. So what I did
thumbs
was,
up or thumbs down.
For those of you who follow us on Instagram, I posted a poll and then I reposted it today because I was trying to get more. I was getting a little aggressive today, sending it out to people specifically going, "Hey, what game?" And I had some interesting conversations with people going, "This is a hard question." I'm like, "I know." So here's some people who did respond. And I guess we'll start with @Wingspan Girl, our beautiful friend Goja. Yep. She said, believe it or not, Obsession.
Wingspan. Ooh.
Obsession.
So Obsession, I think, was on your list and on mine of potential.
Yep.
But
I think
she's got a nice story behind that game.
She does have a good story, and it's connected to us.
So yeah, so that's good choice, and I would give her the thumbs up that it would also stay in my collection.
Thumbs up stays in my collection.
I hope, because have you had your coins and
not yet
characters? Because mine arrived. You saw that on Friday.
I saw that. Yes.
The coins are lovely.
Are they?
They get thumbs up.
Okay.
And I've opened the box and went, they're pretty cool. But I hope Gozia gets her pack, because I think it was due anytime soon. She was to see the coins.
Back a year ago when Dan was on the show and talking about it, the character's expansion, he said he would rather you purchase it from the local retail shop than backing it on Kickstarter. I'm like, okay. So I'm just waiting for it to arrive at Titan Games.
You're waiting for your local shop.
I'm waiting for my local shop. That's what the boss said. So
yeah, you might be. Yeah, it'll be with you soon. So
it will be with you soon.
Okay, that's a good choice. What else have we got?
Our friend Shelly, who lives just north of me in the state of Michigan, at Michiana Board Gamery, she said Anachrony, which is just behind you. Yep. Would you keep Anachrony in your collection? Yeah?
Yeah. The problem is, when the games are in here, which is like, this is my office, I forget. So I'm looking for games to play. Right. And I've actually taken a photograph of this, and it's stuck to the side of the Kallax downstairs, so that I can't remember, but I still forget. It's a great game.
Yeah.
So much content. Loads of content. I've not played half of it.
I don't own it.
Have you played it?
I have.
You played it?
I have played it. And Katie and I were not impressed.
2 player, 3 players, what have you played it?
We played it 3 players.
Okay. Okay. 2's a bit.
It was fine, but it just felt like it. I don't know. It felt like there was a little too much going on. I don't know what it was. And again, it's been a few years, but yeah. So I don't know.
It's a good choice. Sound choice, though. Yeah, good choice.
And the third one from @Board All the Time said 5 Tribes.
Ooh, that's gone on my cull list a while ago.
It went on my cull list a while ago too.
What? See that? When did that go? It's only gone recently. I was going to say in the last 18 months probably. But it was on and off. But I think we've got other games similar, which I can't remember what we said at the time. But
It was.
It's a good game. It's a solid game.
It is. No, it is a fantastic game. So Katie and I really enjoyed it. Then we introduced it to some friends who were like, "We don't like this." So it's like, well,
it's
we're never
going
to. It's never going to get played,
Yeah.
and we didn't love it. We just liked it. So that was a few years ago. But thank you for for participating and saying that Five Tribes will stay in your collection. I respect that. It's a good game. It's a really good game. A lot of wooden meeples. In that game.
Camels.
Yep.
Palm trees.
Yep.
Solid.
So should I talk about my number 2, my second game?
Yes.
Okay.
What have you got?
It was the first game that I introduced Katie to the no longer live television program on YouTube called Tabletop that was originally hosted by Will Wheaton. I was consuming that show like crazy when we first moved here to Illinois. And I was like, okay, you've got to watch this. And at first she was reticent. She was like, I'm not going to watch a show about people playing board games. Like that just seems silly. So we watched the episode about this game and they were playing. And she was like, this is amazing, and we need the game. And that game was
Catan.
Alhambra. No. It was Alhambra by Dirk Henn.
Which I also have behind me.
You do. You have the big box. I have it right here. Yep, just the original. But, I do want to show you one thing about this game. So it was the first game that Katie and I ever upgraded.
Now, my big box is not upgraded. So what have you done?
Now, mind you...
I'm intrigued. What have you upgraded?
So we upgraded 2 things, and we didn't know anything about. There was deluxe editions and all of that stuff. So the first thing is this is the bag that my wife made for the tiles.
Nice. So that's nice and personal.
She then made a second bag. It's a much smaller bag. And what's inside is the real kicker. Now, for those of you who have played and you can't see what I'm holding up, if you've played Alhambra, you know that there's a little center tile with a fountain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we decided that was not good enough. So
it's just a square. It's like a Carcassonne-sized tile.
So we went to a craft store, a local craft store, and we decided to make our own.
Nice. Were they 3D printed or what are they made?
No, this is wood. These are wood pieces.
So
and we just painted them with base coats of each color. So now that was our first upgrade. So you could see why we're not going to call this game.
The bags alone, particularly Katie's made them.
Mm-hmm. She made them.
It's also a solid game.
It is a solid game. The only problem is that Ghost third player really annoys us. When you
is it Dirk?
It is Dirk.
Is that his name? Dirk. I don't know where that came.
Dirk. Yeah. We don't like third. We don't like the third.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pain. It's definitely better with more players. Just so you haven't got Dirk.
Yes.
It's not massive. It's not a massive admin.
It's a little bit.
The third player.
It's a little bit. So, but that's Alhambra. So
great choice.
I think stay in our collection.
We've talked similarly. It's been here, and it's a big box. You're thinking there's a lot of content. I think generally when we open up, we play the basic game because we can't remember how to play.
I've been staring at it over your shoulder for the past 10 minutes as we've been recording because I'm like, I want to play that.
I think there's more, isn't there? Because I think there's that's got modules 1 to 6. I'm going to say, and then I think there's 7, 8, 9. I think there's a big box. A revised version, I'm sure.
There's a revised. Yes, you're absolutely right. And then the version I've got is old. Also, Dirk Henn got the 2003 Spiel des Jahres for Alhambra. So it's won a lot of awards.
Yeah, these days I'd say it's tile placement, and you're looking to. You got the longest wall. I guess the longest track.
Yeah, the longest wall around the edge. You can see
some of the mechanics from other games.
Yeah, but it's just
it's a nice game.
It's beautiful, and I love tile placement. That's my favorite. So
definitely check it out. I mean, that's a good Christmas family game.
It is
this summer. If you listen to us at Christmas,
if you are Alhambra,
if not Alhambra
by Queen Games, a beautiful company that makes amazing games. So how about you? What's next?
Do you want to do it? Have you got any more?
I do.
More,
you want to go? I've got some more. Sure.
Yeah.
So our next Instagram follower who contributed to the poll failed to follow directions. The question was, what one game will you never cull? Now, I understand this is a difficult question and we have a lot of emotions attached. You and I are talking about all these emotions, but this individual gave us 3.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah, it is okay.
They heard the show brief. They just got the show brief, not the Instagram.
That's right. There you go. This is from @Bearwin Plays Games.
Okay.
And he said Tapestry by Stonemeyer that you're wearing right now on your hoodie.
Oh yeah, that's on brand.
Tapestry's a good one. I think I'll keep Tapestry in my collection. No? That's
I have
Did you cull it?
Recently to get into games. Craig's got my copy now. It just wasn't hitting the table. And I love Civ games.
I know you do.
It just isn't enough of a Civ game to stay.
Okay.
So always enjoyed playing it. So again, it was
sure.
I had all of the content and a folded space and the expansions.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely invested in it, but it just wasn't getting enough place.
It hits the table every year, at least 3 times.
Yours is you've got a story behind yours as well, haven't you?
I do as well. I guess I probably should have included in my 3, but yeah, we're not going to talk about that story because You'll have to go back and listen. I tell the story about Tapestry, but let's see. Also, Windmill Valley.
Ooh, good tune.
You recently played that.
Yeah, love it. Great game.
Yeah,
great game.
And then Concordia.
Still in my collection.
Very good. Still in my collection.
It wouldn't get sold. It wouldn't get sold. It would stay.
We love that game so much, and we played a lot at 2 players that we bought a map.
Yeah, there's a smaller map.
It's like the island of Crete.
I think it's Crete, isn't it? Yeah.
It's Crete, and it's perfect for 2-player. And so that's what we do because Concordia is a good game. It's a good game. That's a solid game.
It's a lot of hatred for the box art.
It does.
There's a lot of anger for the box art. Which
you know
detracts from the quality of the game's really good.
I tell you what I don't like is the size of the box. The artwork's fine.
Well, I've got that box, and then because we've got I think we've got most of the maps.
Yep.
We have both boxes. One box, like the salsa box, has got all the maps in it.
We've got the salsa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We got the folded space insert to keep everything organized. So no, you got to get that.
That's a good choice. Yeah.
You should reach out to Richard and Liz with folded space and see if they'll send it to you.
Yeah, it definitely helps because there's a lot of stuff in that box.
There's a lot of stuff, a lot of resources. And then @Fritz Paul, he said Above and Below. Above and Below, which I have never played. I've never played.
That went in the last round as well.
Oh, it did?
And it also, somebody got very lucky because it had the spiral bound forest. They did a Kickstarter for another set of stories.
Oh, they did. They did.
So that was the box. And that went to an Instagrammer who I've now completely gone. But somebody who we know.
Good.
I'll come back to him in a minute.
Good.
So that went to a good home. Good,
and then,
good choice.
And then @Dana Hayward, she said Castles of Burgundy.
That's on my list. It would have appeared. Carrie, both I said. We play that so much, particularly since we've had the deluxe version. But again, it's been with us forever, and you are like a double thumbs down, aren't you? Yeah.
We got rid of it.
Yeah. You've made a mistake.
It is a game. Mistake. It is a game that I love to hate, and I love talking about. I love to share it with you because it's one where we don't agree at all.
Yeah,
I can't stand that game.
You're just wrong.
You know? Nope.
And who was it? Was it Dana?
Dana Hayward. Dana Hayward.
She's right.
Well, there you go.
Correct.
Dana, you are correct.
You are correct. Okay.
We'll see.
Shall I do my third?
You should do your third.
So
this is a good one.
I was going through. Yeah. So this is.
We are about to enter the 2-player game phase of this episode.
Oh, okay. This is 2-player. This is Target. It's 2-player for a reason.
Yeah.
Anyone who can see the screen will see that the box is in German. There's a story behind that. Now, if you do go on Board Game Geek and you are aware that they do a Secret Santa every year, it's currently in flight, and I'm currently chatting to my Santa and my target, and it turns out my Santa, who's sending me a gift, follows me on Instagram, and I follow them. I don't know who it is, but that was exciting in its own right.
Cool.
So those Santas are arranging stuff. Anyway, I don't know when Targi was given to me by Secret Santa, but it's got to be 5 years plus. Certainly since I've been living here, which is 10 years. But this Secret Santa went. So sometimes you got to send a gift for $50, and that's what you got to do. But Santas like to go above, and I think I've only had, this was my 10th or 12th year. 1 year Santa didn't send me a gift. But then their standing Santas usually deliver above and beyond. But this Santa wrote me a letter, which I thought I'd read because it's quite good for this time of year.
I've been wanting you to read this for a while.
It's 3 pages. It's big text. I can't remember who my Santa was. They did tell me at one point, about a year afterwards, but it was just in conversation. I'm never going to find that message again. But it's better being secret. So they sent me quite a few things. So Targi's one of them. But when I get to reading out the bit about why they chose Targi, you'll see why it's in my collection. But anyway, Merry Christmas, Gareth, it starts with. Hope you're having a wonderful holiday with the family. It has been a lot of fun being your Secret Santa. I really had to think before I decided which games to get you. That is because I believe our hobby to be more than just fun and play. I believe that it learns. This person's bow is not native English. I think it's Scandinavian. I believe that it learns us something more valuable. I thought I would share my reasons with you. So the first game they sent me, these were separate packages, was the Great Western Trail.
Wow.
Right, that's where we started, right? A game to play with friends. So that was given so I could play that with my friends. I got this game at Essen and immediately fell in love with it. So it was an easy pick for a good game for gamers with interaction, but not that mean conflict type of interaction. I feel like it is more a race to get things one needs. Getting the good spots with your building, hire your workers at a good price. Getting the station master tiles and cows before the other players is crucial and creates a good, non-destructive interaction. It can be a bit long if you don't have a clear plan, but with a few plays, that should fix that. Also, I have high hopes for the variability with random start buildings, placement, and 2-sided personal buildings. So that's why we were sent Great Western Trail.
Okay.
Number 2, Cottage Garden.
Wow.
These aren't cheap games. This is
not.
Good Santa. A game to play with your children. So my kids would be maybe 5-6 years younger.
Okay.
Most educational games are really boring, to say the least. But Cottage Garden has a lot of mechanisms that taps into higher cognitive skills, and thus is very educational without putting you to sleep. I love this. For one, the spatial element is the heart of the game, and on the skills that most kids nowadays don't learn. Sure, they learn it on iPads, but that is missing the tactile feel and fine motor skills that tile handling gives. Also, the 4 scoring tracks and the spots you cover, but shouldn't, teaches us to pace ourselves and not rush into options that gives us the most payout, but the best long-term rewards and balance in our score. Essential life skills for all of us, in my opinion. Is this a great letter?
That is so good. And well said. Here we go.
It's really good. Really good choice. Like, why? It's not just like, here's some
games.
You're supposed to choose games off your wish list. Here's some games. Tick, tick, ding. It's so much care and thought. So, Targi. A game to play with your wife. Targi is a brilliant game. The balance between getting the right resources and building your tribe is so fun. Like, if you haven't played Targi and you've got 2 players, like, get to this game. Like, so I'm saying that.
Yes.
That's not in the letter.
Right.
And the worker placement and the intersection mechanism is just awesome. It's
God,
not very confrontational, but you are forced to stand in other person's way.
Yes.
I think half the game is always having 2 options so that you can't be blocked. Such a fine game, it just begs for an expansion. So this is before Cosmos printed the English version. But Cosmos decided that it's not worth it to translate the expansion into English. I mean, it is now, but it wasn't then.
Right.
Despair not. I have done it for you. In this box, you will find a set of sleeves for Targi, a set of sleeves for the expansion. All the expansion sleeves have 2 pieces of paper inside them. One for the German text, that is making it easy to find the right cards, and to be taken out once I found them to insert the English translation. In short, it is a paste up. I'm sure you are familiar with those. So I intend to have the expansion shipped to me. So I intended to, but do the whole thing for you. But it's just not easy to get things where he lived. And often retailers don't have the option for shipping to my country. So fortunately, you're going to have to place the cards in the sleeves yourselves. So in the box was he just sent all the sleeves and the German words. I had to find the German words on the German printed cards, sleeve it, take out the words, and then put in the English translation. Wow. Which is why I can't get rid of this game, because the
you can't.
Thought, and the letter, and it is a great 2-player game.
Wow.
That's why that game will never be sold. Do you want to hear the last? Because there is some more.
No.
Final words.
Go ahead. Final words.
So, what is this mysterious message I want to convey? In short, cherish your friends, family, and partner. Christmas is increasingly about buying and receiving, but it should be about the people we choose to share it with. That is why I've chosen games that are non-confrontational.
Yeah.
So play Great Western Trail and get lost in it through with your friends.
Yeah.
Play Cottage Gardening and marvel at its development.
Yeah.
I bet you can remember when you couldn't even say point salad. And play Targi with Carrie while you love her with all your heart. Yeah. After all, she is the one person you truly have chosen and vowed to devote yourself to. This is what games are to me, a way to bring the ones we love close to us, a way to facilitate interaction between us that is about a shared experience we create together, and a way to spend time with each other, bereft of all the peer pressure, expectations, and thoughts about who all the should-haves in life. Enjoy. Isn't that beautiful?
It is beautiful.
I brought you tears. Look at that.
I don't know how you can read that without... You kept straight face. Wow.
And there is more. Got 1 paragraph to go. And then there's a bonus game. So there's a game called Terrible Monsters, which I think is just down here. It was a small box. A game to discover with your wife. I saw this on Kickstarter and made my own print and play copy. It was surprisingly quick to do, so just 16 cards and a few chits. But in those cards is always the answer to your opponent's attack. So you anticipate what will be played against you, and you have to have the answer ready. I backed it on Kickstarter, and by mistake, I got an extra copy. So I'm gifting it to you to drive home the point of how important one partner is. Hope you don't find me presumptuous. And there's a picture of the Elephantus Christmachicus.
Oh, nice.
I mean, there you go. I mean, that letter sits inside the box.
Yeah.
And will never be sold.
Wow.
That is what a War Game Geek Secret Santa should be aspiring to.
That's lovely.
That's why Targi is in my collection.
Wow.
Is that beautiful?
It is so beautiful that I think I'm done. I
hope what's your third game? Anyway, if you've not got Targi, you don't need the expansion to start with. It is 2-player, cards around the board, you put your worker down, and then they put the worker down, and then you intersect, and then there's cards in the middle, and it's genius.
Yeah, it is.
By Targi.
It is very simple, yet it has a lot of immersive qualities.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game.
And great. Yeah, Katie and I play it often. That's just
it's
amazing.
Definitely in print, because I saw it today in town when I was in
That's amazing. So I told you this is the 2-player segment of our game.
What did you go for?
So at my last game from 1999. This is another German.
1999.
Yeah, Wolfgang Ludke. He created this game, but why is this game I'm about to show you so important? It's very much similar to your Secret Santa's comments. So Katie and I met when we were in graduate school in Arizona, and we had been dating maybe 4-5 months, We're not together for very long.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really early in our relationship. And it was my birthday, which is in May. So, we're getting ready to get to the summer break.
Mm-hmm.
And so she bought me this game. And it's set in ancient Rome. So she and I were both studying. She was studying classical studies. I was studying Roman history. So we had overlap in our programs. So it's
There's a nice
thematically
theme.
perfect.
Yeah.
This 2-player game. It's amazing, and I'll never let go of it because it's the first thing that my wife, when she was just my girlfriend of 5 months, bought for me. It was also the first exclusively 2-player game that I had ever seen.
Yeah.
Up until that time, I knew Catan, I knew Ticket to Ride, I knew River Dragons. I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
2-player games existed. And that was Caesar and Cleopatra.
Caesar
And
is that a
Cleopatra.
Cosmos game?
That is,
Caesar.
or it was. It's not.
Yeah.
This is out of print.
Is it? It's got to be out of print. No, it's got to
This
be.
this is out of print. You're gonna have a hard time finding this game, but it's
PGG.
similar.
So what? Yeah. What is it?
It's similar to if you've played Lost Cities, another 2-player
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
where you have a collection, you have a hand of influence cards that are Egyptian, and
Mm-hmm.
I have a set of influence cards, and they're Roman, and they're numbered 1 to 5. And then you have like a P, which is a philosopher. And you place the cards either face up or face down in front of you, and you're trying to influence the Roman officials, the quaestors and the senators and the censors and the different offices of politicians in Rome. And when there's 8, I think it's 8 cards combined, either on one side or both sides, then you call for a vote and you
Okay.
flip it over, and whoever
Yeah.
has the most wins
Oh,
the
nice.
influence card. And there's
Yeah.
usually 3 or 5 influence cards, and you have a private objective. You're trying to get the most of one of the groups
Mm-hmm.
of politicians.
Is there a board, or is it just cards?
No, it's just
Is it a
cards.
card game?
It's just
Cards.
cards, strictly cards. Really lightweight, but yeah, I mean, like, my wife bought this for me.
Never going to get sold, is it?
He had no idea where our relationship was going to go, right? We were under tremendous stress for studying in grad school, and just knew we enjoyed each other's time and we enjoyed playing board games together. And so she bought that for my birthday. And yeah, I never looked back. Gareth.
It was a theme. It was the theme. She just said he loves his classic ancient history. He loves his board games.
Love board games, and love spending time with her. And so here we
Beautiful.
are, married 15 years later, and a trip to England.
500 board games.
I know you have
behind me.
Right? So it's kind of crazy. So I totally get your Secret Santa when he's talking about the playing with your partner. I get that. That's huge. It's why I'm always on the lookout for the next 2-player game.
Yeah.
I loved, even if I can collect them, we don't get to play all of them. Yeah. So that's
good choice.
Yeah.
Those are excellent choices. I hope people have found that.
You too.
I mean, some are out of print, but
yeah,
you can always find them.
Well, that's the thing is, you and I are a little, we've been in this hobby for quite a while, so we've got some out of print games that have been with us for.
But you can find them secondhand, or just pop up whenever people sell things on.
Yep. Whenever they're culling their collection.
Yeah. Always watch out. There's a game earlier. I was like, yeah. Well, before we wrap up, have you got any more?
We do. We have a few more, and I'll try not to take up too much time. But at Alice Plays Board Games, she said she would never get rid of Underwater Cities. Did you? Yeah. I've never played it, so
there are games where I go, I wish I'd not got rid of that one.
Yeah.
There's not many, but that is one where I go, I really enjoyed that game.
Yeah.
But I think I had like the first print run, which is, and the newer version was better. And I thought to myself, I'll get rid of this and maybe buy it again, but I haven't.
I remember seeing a lot of people talking about it.
It's a good
on
game.
Instagram, but I've never played Underwater Cities, so I don't have a vote.
You should know.
At Scholars Mate Games,
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of this game. I don't know if I'm being punked. I have no idea. At Scholars Mate Games,
said
which is best?
Which as in WH, and then which as in
WIT.
Which
is best. And they did it in all caps. So this is not a game I know.
Which is the bravest, but that's not the broom service.
Which is best?
No idea.
No idea. So I have no comment.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a game or not a game.
Speaking of comments, I failed at the beginning of the episode. I'm supposed to do this more often. I didn't. Please, guys, make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel, follow, and put comments at the bottom. What we really like you to do is tell us what game you would never cull from your collection. Put that in the comments. I know we want to know more. At Chucky Milk said, Planet Unknown.
Good choice.
So that's a good choice. I can't put a thumbs up.
Why?
Because my copy hasn't arrived yet.
Really?
We're still waiting.
So you got a thumbs up because at least you're still waiting.
I'm waiting.
And you haven't, because sometimes you're still waiting. You're going, I don't even want to play anymore.
But we've played it and we know we like it, so we can't wait for it to arrive.
Yeah, that's one that's on my shelf that I have got horizontal. And every time I tell myself I need to move it because I opened the box last week because I was moving some things around, and everything had come out of Lazy Susan.
Come on!
So I put it back in, and then guess what I did? So I
put it back
vertical.
Horizontally.
Sorry, horizontally, vertically.
Our good friend Kay at Kay Plays Games.
What's Kay? Kay is.
She said Calico.
Now I have recently got rid of that.
Did you?
To a friend.
Mine is still right here, up on the shelf.
Because what did I? Cascadia? Was there something I felt that I was just some similarity to other games? I can't remember what I was thinking.
I mean, Cascadia is a little. Cascadia can be flat, but Calico is amazing. It is cats. It is cats and quilts. It is tile laying. It is amazing. I love it. Pattern recognition, good for your kids,
and looks beautiful.
It does.
And it's got fantastic.
So well done, UK. I agree with you. At Box to Board. Yep. And these are all Instagram people who follow us. At Box to Board said Blood Rage. That's a good game.
That's not a game I own.
I don't own it either. I have played it.
Really enjoyed the game.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah.
I can't remember whether I won or not. I think I played it with Marie.
I lost. That's a good game, though. It's just, it's good. It's good. And then at the last minute before how the stories, they have like 24 hours and they vanish. So that's why we probably didn't get more and why I reposted it. At Edgar Ribeiro, I apologize if I'm not saying that right. At Edgar Ribeiro, he said Scythe. He would never get rid of Scythe.
Right here?
Yeah.
Up there? Yeah.
I would agree. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Scythe. Scythe is.
It has never crossed my mind.
No.
Again, that's been with us a long time.
Long time. That's a game where we've got the insert, the legendary box, the metal coins, the upgraded resources, everything. We've painted all the minis and the airships, so it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's some investment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got everything. But I haven't painted the minis. You need to.
You need to do that.
This here. This Dwellings? Is highly likely to be on the cull list.
Really?
Yeah.
We played it. We played it once. It was, we got to play it once last year.
I really enjoy it, but it has been up here. It hasn't gone off the shelf for a couple of years. And I was going through. Like this is got expansions due, so that can't go in a bigger box.
Mm-hmm.
This is a yearly, Wonderland's Water, first game I ever painted.
Yep, I remember
Clans of Caledonia, that's on Kickstarter right now. If you don't own Clans of Caledonia, It's been out of print, and it's on Kickstarter today. I think it's got another week or 2 weeks to go. That's a great game.
Okay. I would say here, this whole shelf right here, Murano.
Oh, yeah. There's some
Grand Austria Hotel.
Is that Newton?
Newton and Polis.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that you and I can get Simone Luciano on the show. Because we found out you and I own a ton of their games. And I'm like, would love to get them on.
I think, is that Zolkin? That's a duel? Isn't Zolkin a duel with Daniel?
I think so. Yeah. And Lorenzo Il Magnifico.
Yeah. That's there's so many games I have.
So many.
I don't realize. Cool.
So
that was
good.
Really fun. Good episode.
So there we are, guys. These are the games that we would never call from our collection. You're talking to two veterans who believe in the importance of culling so that you can make space. Not every game needs to be kept. I think it's important to say is that if you've got an emotional attachment, keep it by all means. But
yeah, I have been passing on games that like my friends have got as well. So there's no point having 4 or 5 copies.
Oh yeah,
we all joked that we'd all sold the same game, and they were like, "No, we've got a problem. We all made the same call." I was like, "Ah," and we didn't really, but that would be a nightmare if we chose. It's all right. Gareth's got a copy. And then, no. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go.
Episodes.
We've
got 2 episodes to go.
2 episodes to go.
Break.
Yeah, we're going to take a pretty significant break for the holidays. We'll get to the first week of December, and then we'll be back in January. With more.
I'm having a knee operation, which means I'm less mobile for 3 weeks. But if you aren't in the Southampton area and have nothing to do, I have 3 weeks of open house gaming. So just drop me a message. You can come over and entertain.
I wish I could.
Yeah, just hop over.
I've got a week and a half off for the holidays, so I've got the time.
I have 3 weeks, which I don't think I've had in a long time.
Yeah. Well, it'll be good for you. It'll be good for you.
Good. Right. Thanks, everyone, for watching, listening. And as PJ said, like and subscribe and follow.
Like and subscribe.
Appreciate that. And,
comments in the below, please.
See you next week. Hear you
next week.
You. Whatever it is.
We'll be here next week.
See you later. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.